flower power. What is up, guys? It's Chief here. Welcome back to another video. I don't know what pose I just did right there, but anyway, I have flowers for a good reason because Josh, I'm finally doing it! I'm doing the garden book tag. Now, I already did one recording of this the whole way through, and I was just kind of like about it, so oh well, whatever, I'll do it again. It's not that long of a tag, so I'm just gonna be fine with it. But anyway, I'm really excited to do this tag. I cannot express my excitement enough. So, why let this excitement contain inside me and eat me up? Well, I can let it out. So, let's get into this. Now, before I start, the questions are set up like roses and like flowers and stuff like that, so I'm really excited to see where this goes. So anyway, question number 1, Rambler Rose, a long read with multiple characters and plot lines. It twists, turns, and puts on a show with the language. Now, I'm going to be choosing Bleak House by Charles Dickens, but I'm not going to go into this because I have a whole review set up for this book. If you want to go check it out, go check it out. It's amazing. It's, in my opinion, the great British novel. It's one of the greatest books of all time. Like, seriously. Question number 2, Hybrid Tea Rose, modern and long-lasting, a collection of memorable 20th or 21st century poetry or short stories that stay with you for a long time. Now, I chose 9 stories by J.D. Salinger, and you guys probably know why. Mainly, I could have just chosen Perfect Day for Banana Fish on its own, but this is a collection, so I had to choose this. I had to choose this because it just has Perfect Day for Banana Fish, Teddy, and Uncle Wiggily. Sorry, I get this. Uncle Wiggily in Connecticut. I keep forgetting that name. Sorry, guys. Yeah, this short story collection is amazing. If you haven't read it, go read it. It's awesome. Like, some of the best short stories I've ever read are in this collection. And the only reason why I didn't give it a 5 out of 5 stars is because there's a short story in there called The Laughing Man. It really wasn't good at all, guys. It really wasn't good. But other than that short story, 8 out of the 9 stories work in this collection. And you may even get something out of The Laughing Man. I just personally didn't. So, anyway, yeah. Go check this out if you can. I forgot that I didn't have the light on, so sorry if the first part of this video was in terrible lighting. But, question number 3, Lilacs, a seasonally inspired book that you look forward to revisiting each year. Now, I don't really revisit books besides Catcher in the Rye over and over again, but Catcher in the Rye is not really a seasonal read in my eyes, but To Kill a Mockingbird is. Now, this is not a book I'm going to revisit over and 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 over again. In fact, I rarely do that. In fact, Catcher in the Rye is the only exception to that rule. But I do definitely see myself rereading this very soon, and it is the definitive book about summer. And growing up and just everything. This is one of the great American novels, in my opinion. And if you disagree, you're wrong. You're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong. Actually, no, you're entitled to your own opinion. But To Kill a Mockingbird, it's absolutely phenomenal. And I know it's kind of a cliched answer for this question, but why not give it a shot? Because if you're like one of the 10 people on this earth that haven't read it already, what are you doing? Get on it. It's awesome. Question number 4, Bleeding Heart, a beautiful dark work that broke your heart. Well, I got Flowers for Algernon by Daniel Keyes, but after making the first recording, I found out that this could have fitted with question number 7 as well, but I'll get to that one when it comes up. But Flowers for Algernon, the main reason why I put this book so high in acclaim is the ending. It has, without a shred of doubt, one of the best endings I've ever read in a book. If you haven't read this book, you'll get a great conclusion. I will say that right now. It's wonderfully written, it's beautifully told, and just everything that this book does is amazing. I cannot describe this book well enough, so why not just check it out for yourself? It's about a man named Charlie Gordon who gets, who's mentally, did I say that? No. Alright, well, he's stupid, and he, tries to raise his IQ through science, and it backfires severely. So, anyway, Flowers for Algernon, if you haven't checked it out, go check it out. It's amazing. Question number 5. Queen Anne's Lace. Why did I use that voice? A work that is sometimes seen as a weed, but that you see for what it is. Great literature. But anyway, I need to use that elegant voice from now on, but I'm not because this is BookTube, and I'm, in Steve Donahue's words, the anime character of BookTube. I'm doing that tag tomorrow, Steve, by the way. But anyway, I chose Atlas Shrugged by Ayn Rand. This is something else. And by something else, I mean a masterpiece. Some people say this is the greatest book ever written. I do disagree with that statement, but still, it's one of the best novels I've ever read in my entire life. Just not the best. This is legitimately about the economy stopping. And literally on the side of financial apocalypse. And it is beautifully written with a fascinating story and wonderful characters. I could have also fitted this into number 1, but there's so many people that hate this book that I have to put it in here. It's a wonderful book, guys. I cannot recommend it enough. Though, I can definitely see why some people won't like it, because Ayn Rand is interesting, to say the least. Number 6, Forget Me Not, an early bloomer, a work that you read early in your life and will never forget. I'm going way back here, and all the way back to 7th grade. I'm gonna detail a story real quick. When I was a wee lad of 13 or so, I read The Outsiders by S.E. Hinton, which I consider the first book that I truly loved. This book was amazing. This book was just wonderful in my eyes. I found the writing to be gorgeous. This book really helped me appreciate writing a lot more. It helped me appreciate storytelling a lot more. It helped me, most of all, get attached to characters so much more. At first, before I read The Outsiders, I was just kind of indifferent to characters. I was like, hey, that character's likable, or that guy's a bad guy. But really, I have conflicting feelings about some of these characters. And it really gives a deep look into characters without getting it too confusing for a 13-year-old, I was about to say 7-year-old, but I was a 7th grader, to understand. It's beautifully written. It's not simplistic, but it's very, yeah, it is simplistic, but in a good way. It is wonderful. What else do I have to say? It's a classic. I'd say this is a classic YA novel, so yeah, it's awesome. What else do I have to say? Number 7, Pansies, a classic that's losing popularity. Once upon a time, everyone had them in their garden/library, but now they're being replaced with begonias. Alright, so, I've decided to choose a work by a popular author, but this book is nowhere on BookTube. I've seen this book nowhere, and a lot of this author's other books are very they're relevant on BookTube, but this one isn't, and that's Dandelion Wine by Ray Bradbury. I know this could have also fitted with Flowers for Algernon and Daniel Keyes in general, but I really had to talk about this one because everybody has Fahrenheit 451 in their library, and I see a lot of people who have, The Martian Chronicles and The Illustrated Man in their libraries as well, but never Dandelion Wine. And this is my favorite Bradbury book besides Fahrenheit. I love this. This is a book about a young boy named Douglas Sprawling, I think is how you pronounce his name. Sprawling, I think that's it. And it pretty much details his life as, not life, but just a summer in 1928. And it's wonderful, guys. It's wonderful. It's one of the better coming-of-age stories that I've read, and it's just an excellently written book. If you want great writing, if you want the great writing that you found in Fahrenheit 451, read this, surprisingly, not something like The Martian Chronicles. And if you read this and then read the book Something Wicked This Way Comes, it will make a lot more sense, because Something Wicked This Way Comes is actually a somewhat sequel to this book. So, yeah, really excited to see more people pick this up. Number 8, Trillium. Native to North America. In some provinces and states, it's illegal to pick these a banned or challenged book. Now I'm doing both native to North America and Mansion Challenge, and I picked the perfect one. And I'm shocked I haven't talked about this book enough because I love this book, and that's The Scarlet Letter by Nathaniel Hawthorne. This is the second 5-star rating that I gave in 2016, and for good reasons. It's absolutely wonderful. If you don't know what this book is about, it's about this woman named Hester who literally gets a letter A stamped, like, sewn on her chest, and she literally has to wear it in certain, like, an alienation, and then things happen. And she has a child with her, and there's, like, loads of stuff that happens. And let me just say this is one of the most beautifully written books of all time. I cannot express my love for this book enough. But I think I may have downgraded this off my top 10 just because it's like I mean, it's amazing, but it's not like, it didn't like completely impact my life forever. It just impacted me as a reader, not me as a person. So I kind of downgraded it for me, but still absolutely fantastic book. If you haven't read it, just go read it immediately. It's amazing. And I feel like I've just been repeating myself on and on again. Sorry, guys. Number 9, Orchid. Orchid? I think that's how you pronounce it. A work that is as challenging to read and maintain as an orchid. Orchid? What? Infinite Jest by David Foster Wallace. It's Infinite Jest! That should be enough to say, but really, it's incredibly long. The text is really tiny. There's like 300 footnotes, which I hate, by the way, but the book itself is absolutely fantastic. The narrative parts. And it's just wonderful. What else do I have to say? It's Infinite Jest. This book is just so fun, in my opinion, that I really just can't see anybody not liking this. Well, I can see some people being like, oh, it's too long and challenging for me, but if you're up for the challenge, I cannot see you not liking this, because it is fantastic, it's hilarious, it's really deep, and it really has some thought-provoking themes to it, because it really mentions, like, the whole control of entertainment, control of people's minds through entertainment, and that was really clever, in my opinion. So, one of the most cleverly written books of all time is Infinite Jest by David Foster Wallace, and it's definitely a challenge to get through. And number 10, Fern. A book that sparked your initial interest in a topic before sporing into a whole TBR of books on that topic. Hands down, without a shred of doubt, The Wind-Up Bird Chronicle by Haruki Murakami. Before I read this book, I had no interest in Japanese literature at all, or like Asian literature in general. But then I read this, and now I'm obsessed with this. With Asian literature, or at least Japanese literature. Japanese literature really focuses more on magical realism, which is a topic I'm actually really interested in right now. So I'm going through a lot more Murakami. I'm going through a lot, like, I'm gonna start reading, like, a lot of other Japanese books. So this is really interesting in my opinion, and I'm really excited just to see where this interest of mine goes, because it's amazing. This book is amazing. What else do I have to say? I'm literally losing track right now because I've done 2 videos in a row, and let me just tell you this. I don't do good with daily uploads. I don't do good at all. So that was the video, guys. I know this was kind of a jumbled video, but I'm gonna tag, like, just 3 people real quick, just from Rebel Reads. Has Steve from Steve Donahue done this? I think, if you haven't, go ahead and do it, Steve, but I bet you'd have. And 3, the restricted section. Both of you guys. If both of you aren't in there, I'm gonna be mad. But anyway, I'm Mega Man Chief Fan, and I'll see you later, guys.